We are Georgia and David. In March of 2022, we quit our jobs to travel the world full-time. We are currently exploring Mexico, and our goal is to visit 100 Pueblos Mágicos.
Welcome to La Paz. We're going to be spending the next week in this capital city known for having the most beautiful beach in all of Mexico, which we will be visiting tomorrow. Additionally, in this video, we're going to show you some of the coolest things we saw and the best things we ate. If you stay tuned to the end, we'll show you a tour of our Airbnb and a detailed breakdown of all our expenses.
So the first mission of the day is to check out the beautiful Malecon, which has a bunch of these ocean-themed statues.
The one behind us here is the Pearl, and La Paz actually used to be known for its pearl farming. In fact, the giant pearl that's found in the center of Queen Elizabeth's crown actually came from here in La Paz. Well, of course, the next thing we needed to do was get something to eat. So we, of course, got some waters and some bohemias, and we have here 2 flour tortilla tacos with fried fish as well as fried shrimp. Then I have on corn tortillas the fried clam as well as the grilled shrimp. So we'll see how these are.
After we got fueled up on those delicious tacos, we headed over to the main church, which, like other parts of Baja, is called the Mission.
Yeah, it's, as the other ones are, fairly simple inside, but still very beautiful. Our next stop was right across the street, and it was their art museum, which had some really cool local art. Unfortunately, we weren't allowed to video inside, but I was able to get some pictures with my cell phone. The entrance was completely free though, so that was great. And now we've come around the back of the building to check out this really cool art installation.
The first part of the museum showcased some of the fossils that were found in the area. It also detailed the life of the indigenous people, including their burial rituals and cave paintings. These people were nomadic, so they didn't build pyramids or other structures like elsewhere in Mexico. We also learned La Paz was the first city the Spanish settled, but Loreto had the first mission.
The last section of the museum goes over the War of 1847, where Mexico lost California, New Mexico, Arizona, and Texas to the United States. It also goes over the rancho culture that is part of this area, and that's why you'll see lots of steaks and birria tacos and carne asada tacos alongside all those delicious fish tacos. So after all that walking around in 95-degree heat, we were getting a bit dehydrated, so we have now come to Coco's El Terraplén, and they have Cocos Frios. We also have a coconut horchata coming, as well as an agua de sandía or a watermelon juice, and the view here just can't be beat. I definitely recommend this place. The watermelon juice is very sweet and very refreshing. You can tell there's no sugar added. It was just really ripe watermelon. And then David's horchata is super delicious. But now we have finished the coconut water, so they went ahead and scraped it out for us, and we were able to put on lime juice, Valentina, and a little bit of tahini.
Today we come to Balandra Beach, which is said to be the most beautiful beach in Mexico and one of the most beautiful in the world.
And honestly, so far, I would have to agree. It's absolutely gorgeous. There are a few things that you should know, though, is that there are 2 times that you can be admitted. One is at 8 a.m. and then they kick you out at noon. And the other is at 1 p.m. and they kick you out at 4:30. They do recommend that you get here about an hour before the time you want to get in. We got here at about 10 after 12. They actually started letting people in at about 20 after 12. We did not have to pay a fee. I'd read online that sometimes you do. We didn't. The other thing to know is that the first Sunday of every month is locals only, so even national tourists aren't allowed that day.
We only let 450 people in during those times.
Yeah, so that's why you want to get here early, because those spots can fill up quick.
After parking the Jeep, the first thing we decided to do is hike up to El Mirador.
This hike is short, but it is steep, and it has a lot of loose gravel. We decided to come wearing our sneakers since we knew we were going to do this, and I would recommend that. I would not recommend doing it in flip-flops. At least have some strappy sandals. You can see we set up on the very end of the beach. We have our little sunbrella chairs, and our Airbnb came with a cooler, which was nice.
This beach is absolutely beautiful. The water is very refrescante, or very refreshing. Not too cold, not too hot. And the sand is white and powdery.
Yeah, I think that's why you get these gorgeous colors of turquoise, is that reflection from this beautiful white sand. The nice thing is, because they do limit how many people can come in, it isn't overly crowded, even though today is a Saturday. One thing to be aware of, though, is that when the tide goes out here, the water becomes super shallow. Right now, it's still pretty shallow, but there are rays here, stingrays. And so the lady at the front told us to make sure when we walk through the water, we shuffle our feet to scare them away, because if you accidentally step on them, they will sting you.
You can see how far away from shore we are, and the water's not even waist deep right now.
No, it is crazy how far you can walk where it stays shallow.
So this is how far we had to walk away from our chairs in order to get it up to belly button level.
Mine's almost at boob height.
So in the Bay of Balandra here, there are a bunch of beaches around. Some of them are packed with people, and some are a little more difficult to get to, so there's not many people on them at all.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. You can walk to most of them through the water. Some of them you can actually just walk around the water and kind of skirt in a little bit and bring your chairs. There are boat tours as well that will take you to some of these more secluded beaches around the bay. One thing to know though is that you do need to bring all of your own drinks and food with you. There are no vendors here. When you first come down and you're waiting in the line of cars, there will be people trying to sell you food, drinks, chairs, umbrella rentals. We brought our own chairs. Like I said, we got a cooler from our Airbnb. We got some beers, some water, and brought some peanuts. But that's just something to keep in mind is that they are trying to keep this as a protected beach, so no vendors are allowed.
And make sure you clean up after yourself too.
Yeah.
We drove back into La Paz, and now we're at Chocolatas El Empanada.
This restaurant is known for their chocolate clams. Well, actually, this whole area is. It is one of the specialties of La Paz, and it is a giant brown-colored clam. It doesn't taste anything like chocolate, though. We worked up an appetite at Balandra Beach, and we're gonna go try these.
We ordered the fish ceviche, stuffed clams, and raw clams. Everything was fresh and delicious.
So today we are headed back to Balandra Beach. We enjoyed it so much the other day. It truly was one of the most beautiful beaches we've ever been to. And we didn't get our picture by El Hongo, which is one of the things you absolutely have to do, so we had to return.
So now we're getting food before we go there, and we're stopping at Tacos El Estadio, which is supposed to have some of the best fish tacos around.
Yep, so it's a little early, it's like 10:30, but we're hungry, so let's go do it.
Oh, those tacos might have been the best deal ever.
Yeah, normally when you get shrimp tacos, they'll give you 2, maybe 3 shrimp. Those had 7 or 8 shrimp in them, and they were still just like 40 pesos. So absolutely amazing deal. I think our total bill with 2 giant Topo Chicos, 2 fish tacos, and 2 shrimp tacos was only 190 pesos. Then we threw the 10 in the tip jar. So absolutely amazing deal. And they tasted really good too. I don't think they're the best we've had, but they're up there.
Yeah. So we're walking over to El Hongo now. We walked over to the other side of the beach, which you have to go through the water to get to. Kind of an adventure.
Yeah, I think during low tide, you can get over here without having to get in the water, but we're closer to high tide at this point, which is a nicer time to swim, but honestly the beach doesn't look quite as pretty because you can't see as much of the sand through the water, and it's a lot more difficult to get to El Hongo.
Hongo was a natural rock formation that was in the shape of a mushroom.
However, in the 90s, apparently a tourist climbed on it, knocked it over, and then another, I think American or Canadian, actually paid to have it reconstructed. So now it is kind of partially made of rebar and concrete, but it still looks cool, and it is one of the emblematic things to do here at Balandra Bay is to get your picture in front of El Hongo.
It's so popular that they come up with boats so they can take a picture in front of El Hongo. To Balandra Beach, we definitely recommend the side with the Hongo.
Yeah, it's worth it. You do, like we said, have to kind of carry your stuff through some rocks and potentially some water, but the side is much quieter because of that. Also, the water is a little bit deeper. You don't have to go out that far for it to be kind of chest height, where on the other side you can walk forever and it just kind of stays at your waist. Even at the beach, we attract the doggos. even though La Paz is actually on the eastern side of the Baja Peninsula, they still get incredible sunsets because of where they are on the bay. So we got cleaned up at our apartment after our day at the beach and headed out to the Malecon to enjoy some cervezas with a view.
So first stop of the day is the most famous fish taco place here in La Paz.
And it is Taco Fish. It was featured on the Netflix series Taco Chronicles, and we're gonna go try it and see how it stacks up against all those other fish and shrimp tacos we've had so far here in La Paz.
We just finished up our lunch at Taco Fish. We had the grilled shrimp taco, fried shrimp taco, and a fried fish taco.
And I have to say that the grilled shrimp taco was definitely the winner. It was very good. I would say for both the fried fish and the fried shrimp, the batter wasn't very well seasoned. So overall, not my favorite ones. I would have to give the best tacos to Mack Fisher. Their batter was definitely the most seasoned, and then they also had a very delicious grilled shrimp taco, which was on par with the one that we had here. Second place I'd actually give to Claro Fish Jr, which we didn't show. We actually went there the very first night that we arrived, so we didn't record, but their coconut shrimp taco was excellent. Then I would say here, because that grilled shrimp taco was really good, and then in last place I put El Estadio. However, if money matters to you, El Estadio was definitely the most economical. It had the biggest tacos. I just had to put salt on them as well as use all the kind of salsas from their bar to flavor them up because, again, that batter wasn't very seasoned.
Our next stop is El Serpentario.
This is an animal rescue here in La Paz. The last entrance each day is at 2 o'clock, so we tried to come a different day. We were too late, so just keep that in mind if you want to visit.
So Serpentario was really cool. They had a bunch of rescued animals, and they even had some animals they're rehabilitating currently.
Yeah, it was really neat. It was definitely worth the visit, and I do highly recommend it, especially if you have kids, because feeding the animals was super fun. But it was also super hot. Yeah. We were planning on going to the whale museum, but the beach was just calling us too hard. So we came back to our Airbnb, changed into our swimsuits, and we'll take you with us.
We decided on Playa Pichilingue.
This beach is just a little bit before you actually get to Balandra Bay if you're coming from La Paz. And if you look behind us, the color here is nearly as good. There are a couple of restaurants and bars. A lot of them don't have like full shade though. They just kind of have like little shade sails, so I would bring your own umbrella if you're going to come here. It seems to be quite a local beach. We've got our cooler with our beers, and we've got our chairs with our little shade umbrellas, so we're going to enjoy the afternoon here.
So the water here is just as clear and motionless as it is in Balandra.
Yeah, the main difference is the sand though. The sand here has a lot more shells in it, and for the first few feet that you're walking into the water, there are some sharp rocks as well as sharp shells, so it is a little uncomfortable, but once you get past that, it is that same white, smooth, sandy bottom that Balandra has. Well, we definitely enjoyed our beach day, and we worked up quite the appetite.
So for our last meal on La Paz, we're at Mariscos El Molinito.
See how it is. This was our Airbnb in La Paz for the past week. You see we had parking behind a gate. We are up there on the 3rd floor. That is the only thing about this unit, is that there is no elevator. It's up the stairs only. You can see here, had a nice little pool area with some nice big umbrellas. And up the stairs. And this was our unit, 304. When you first come in the door, you've got the living room with a nice, comfortable L-shaped couch, curved, nice TV, even had a ceiling fan. Then to your right, we have the tiny dining table, a little bar seating area, and an AC unit that could not keep up. Despite the fact this unit is so small and there's 3 ACs, it couldn't keep up with the 100-degree weather. Here we have the kitchen, small but nice. That is an induction cooktop. And then through this door here, we had a little washer dryer. It was very little. You can see the drum is super small, but it was really great to have in the unit. Over here is a little area I did my makeup, and then we have the bathroom. Really great shower pressure and plenty of hot water. And this was the bedroom we slept in. Bed was a little too soft, but good linens. 2 nightstands, plenty of closet space, even a safe. They had some pool towels, they had a cooler, an umbrella. Definitely a well-stocked place. And then here is the spare bedroom, also AC unit. Still couldn't keep up, but we used this room to charge our things. Overall, it was pretty good. Let me show you one more feature upstairs though. So up just one more flight of stairs. You can see they have this great rooftop. And if you look out there, you can see we even have an ocean view from up here. You see they have a grill, and then they have this nice little seating area. And they even have bathrooms up here. And now for that cost breakdown. That Airbnb set us back $943 for 7 nights. We spent $89 on transportation, just $33 on entertainment. We spent $139 on bars and on alcohol. We spent $496 at restaurants, $134 on groceries, and just $21 on utilities, which was 2 Telcel recharges. That grand total, $1,855 or $265 per day. Thanks for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please leave them down below. If you haven't already, check out last week's video where we explore the Pueblo Mágico of Todos Santos.